Hi there, I thought I'd take this opportunity to do a quick update. You may or may not be aware that Crow Hill kind of semi-shut its doors about 2 months ago. This was to have what I would describe as a regroup. I had felt after a year and a half of us making videos and sample instruments, having competitions, creating opportunities, all of these kind of things, that the emphasis of the project wasn't quite right. It wasn't what I had set out to do. So I thought a regroup was necessary to, first of all, look at the aesthetic representation of who we are, but most of all, to look at the emphasis of our operation. That we're not a sample instrument company. We're a project where people could come and hang out on a site that's full of resources, inspiration and opportunity, whilst covering the costs of creating that environment for music makers by selling something that I think we're good at, which is making sounds. I was hoping this was going to take a month to do. I think that was a bit ambitious. So I thought I'd give you a little sneak peek of what we've been up to, where we're headed, and reassurance that we'll be back fully soon. So what I thought I'd do is just take you through the process that I've been through with the team to create a new, more suitable environment for the concept that I had originally a couple of years ago. You can see here that we've got some very rough layouts of our new store, and the idea of an area devoted to resources. We've had a couple of different pages like that, which I've called a match strike area that embraces our ADHD approach to life and provides an area of rummage and exploration, not a series of courses, books or chapters. Should be as easy to find what you're looking for as it is to stumble into various rabbit holes. Page serves several roles as an interesting hang in itself, but also in support of materials and content made throughout Crow Hill and its network. Now, if we go here, we can see there's a site mock-up. So this is the home page, which will be full width for the first time. We haven't got into Prince's private archive. That is a fib. And then we're looking at shop pages that look like this. Or did he just give you a little sneak peek of what the new Vaults looks like? The resource page, the home page for resources here. And this is an early iteration of what I thought it should look like. And when we go into the various different categories, we've got this grid view and then the individual posts. This is what the shop will look like. And in addition to that, we will have these explore pages, which will be for the bigger releases, and for the artist releases will be full width, very immersive into the world of those artists, telling you who they are and giving you a sense aesthetically of what the library is and what it's for. It's one of the things I love about Figma is you can make it nice and messy. And here's all sorts of notes that we've set ourselves about the various pages that I've mocked up. Here's some site assets that we were preparing, a load of stuff that was drawn by Dot Allison, who's one of our co-founders, by hand, again to give this sense of it being touched by human hands. Various different takes on the logo, but I'm not sure from an avian point of view if the crow would actually have its legs out when flying in that position. Something to check out. Again, our shop. So the idea with the shop is it's nice and easy and simple. You can find what you're looking for. The idea with the explore pages is there a place for browsing and understanding. So this is when I started working on the site layout. I don't want any gatekeepers in the business. I want us all to be in startup mode, which basically means everyone mucks in. Everyone who works here are highly creative. So I don't want there to be one person doing web pages, one person doing videos, one person doing thumbnails. So the idea with the site is to make it as intuitive as humanly possible, not least the color white and the color black, which I have selected as a memorable hex code. Here's early days ideas for the different icons that we'll be using. And here is a Nudica font set and the various different font styles we have. And this is, I believe, based on a perfect fourth scale these ratios, various different sizes. Now moving along, and I will give you a glimpse of the site that we have on our staging server. Now I moved on and actually created hand-drawn versions of the icons. Now I can have a bit of fun here. If we take this on top of that and go like that, you'll see that they just have different hover animations. So put something in the cart. My favorite is the envelope. So click on or hover over the envelope, it opens, and then over here, Easter eggs for people to roll over. Again, all hand drawn. So we'll be launching with the 3 existing products that we have on sale, gradually week by week releasing, improving, updating our entire back catalogue, along with some really exciting stuff coming up. These are the explore pages, the preparation for that. And this is a preparation of a homepage. Oh, look at those. Now this, I cannot stress how important it is that you make sure you're on the mailing list. If you don't, you're going to miss the opportunity to grab something that is going to be the jewel in our crown, and the lengths we have gone to create this, I hope you'll be impressed by. So that's the mock-up for the homepage, the vaults page, and this is the mock-up for the resource page, and I've even done the checkout zones and all of that stuff. And something I'm really excited about is Dot has drawn some icons. This is one half of the Colossus and a Fairlight. I have 2 different versions of that, which will then be put on our header here. And there's something, I don't know if you've heard of an artist called Stephen Wiltshire. There's something about these drawings that remind me of his genius work. So let's have just a little peek. This is early days. So it's ostensibly a blog, but the resource page is a series of articles and assets to download, videos to watch, and it's a way of us aggregating all of our efforts into a single hub, if you will. And if we look at this, hey Ellery, this is just a temporary image there, you'll see that already we're piling in absolutely piles of stuff, not least a journal I've been keeping for the last 2.5 years. There's going to be excerpts from that, warts and all. And, you know, it's something that I've not thought of doing up to now, but I've now got nearly 20 years of experience being an entrepreneur, and I think there's some stuff for other people to learn from that, which I hope will be useful. You'll also notice, for example, that there's a new blag sheet that's been done, which is all about MIDI, and it's absolutely fascinating when you look into that subject. Over the last year or so, I've been compiling these blag sheets and realizing how inconsistent, inaccurate the internet can be, particularly when you try using AI. So for me, creating these central depositories of knowledge around a single subject in a single contained sheet that is peer reviewed, I think is highly important. This investigation into MIDI was a fascinating experience. What I'm hoping to do, and will be the big change with this channel, is to do a series of videos that are supported by these blag sheets. As I say, this is still early days and there's going to be plenty of stuff going in here, but I hope you agree. A place to come and find resources for free, opportunities, inspiration, and for us to make everyone feel like they can become a music maker of any sort, but particularly not hold back from the idea that you can't be a composer. I'm hoping new site's going to be live in the next few days. I won't promise anything because that would be foolhardy. But it looks like there may be a live podcast coming soon where we will be unveiling the site for the first time. Vaults will be back, a new massive resource hub, and a more frictionless, fairer shopping experience. And that thing that I mentioned before. So make sure you subscribe to the mailing list. And whilst you're at it, subscribe to this channel. As I say, we've gone a little bit quiet of late. We've had a bit of a regroup. We've looked at what people like that we do, and we're going to do a lot more of that. Not least, there's a synth coffin arriving this week with 2 synths that need bringing back to life. Anyway, thanks for watching this update. Do stick around to see how things transpire over the forthcoming days, and I hope you like the new direction that we'll be travelling in.